Hello everyone, GoldenNova here, and yeah, I'm floored. This is amazing. I made it a goal at the end of February to make it to 200 subscribers by the end of April, and you all helped me reach that goal with almost a week to spare, so thank you all so much. To mark the occasion, it's time for another milestone special, presenting GoldenNova's top 10 monsters with 200 attack points. But first, some housekeeping. To keep this video compliant with the rules and regulations laid out by the Online Opinions Protection Services, OOPS requires me to preface any top 10 videos with the disclaimer that the content, and the sequencing thereof, is based solely on my own opinion. While power level and historical context do play a part in said opinion, it will be graded alongside other ephemeral qualities, like silliness, coolness, and their knowledge and performance of 13th century Eastern European folklore by means of interpretive dance. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the list. Honorable mentions: left leg, left arm, right leg, and right arm of the Forbidden One. Limited since time immemorial, these legendary limbs have been the key to pulling off the game's oldest and most iconic alternate win condition. They've been memed, reimagined, and jammed into janky, super draw decks in an attempt to win with as little interaction with their opponent as possible. However, despite being so powerful and well known, I couldn't justify putting them on the list proper because A, they're 4 cards, so that'd be a pretty skewed list, and B, without their head, all they have are legs to stand on. Number 10. Jagan the Spiritualist. In a game where special summoning monsters drives just about every deck, it's important to have countermeasures in mind to keep your opponent in check. This can range from negation, to removal, to just floodgating them out entirely. And one of the most popular options are monster-based floodgates. You've got your big, beefy floodgates that lock out everything like Vanity's Fiend and Christia, to the smaller ones like the barrier statues that allow for some very specific exceptions. But they all share a similar issue. They don't do anything against established fields. That's where Jagan comes in. Not only does it limit both players from special summoning monsters while it's on the field, it can destroy every single special summoned monster at the cost of a random discard. This makes Jagan similar to Block Dragon Burning Abyss All-Star, Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. However, while the prehistoric powerhouse has much better synergy with modern strategies, Jagan doesn't have to flip to trigger its destruction effect, allowing you to use it more quickly. Also, Fossil Dyna doesn't have 200 attack. Sorry champ, you'll get your time. Number 9. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, Ravan. Man, Fire Fist did not take off the way the player base expected, huh? I remember back when all the combo videos hit the scene hyping up the new releases in Fist of the Gadget, and for good reason. The deck does very flashy things, and even back in its heyday it was a tournament-winning strategy whose cards still echo out through the competitive landscape today. But the card that was to make modern Fire Fist an invincible inferno was Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Ravan. Keeping your fire formations safe was a nice bonus, but the real draw was the effect that let you set any fire formation spell to the field from your deck when it was sent from the field to the grave. Add in the fact that it can't miss timing and lacks a once per turn clause, and you have a frighteningly effective engine piece in the Age of Link monsters. They even made 2 links for Fire Fist, so even though Ravan was never meant to be used this way, the designers knew what they were doing. Alas, the deck never really made its mark. A combination of play sequences not being as effective as they'd once seemed, with a lack of supply for one of the deck's key cards, meant that players didn't feel like sticking to and innovating with the deck, causing the competitive conflagration to burn out. Number 8. Kaiba Man. Blue Eyes White Dragon has not only been a part of Yu-Gi-Oh's iconography since Duel Monsters was introduced, but has even had a powerful presence in the metagame as a deck with powerful main deck monsters and oppressive extra deck options. Kaiba Man is not part of that strategy. There are much better ways of mobilizing your engines of destruction, but it does stand as the only monster to not only be a reference to a character from the anime or manga, but also carry their name. Fitting for the person with the biggest ego in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 7. DD Swirl Slime. Moving from one CEO to another, Reiji Akaba's deck of fiendish executives has been a draw for anyone looking to utilize the entire extra deck spectrum, a dream that was hampered severely by the implementation of Master Rule 4. However, with the advent of Master Rule 5, along with the recent TCG release of King Gilgamesh, the deck is poised to make a return in a big way, and one of its key cards is DD Swirl Slime. Not only is it a fusion spell and a material all in one, it also special summons any of your higher level DDs from your hand, enabling your best plays. It may not spend too much time in the spotlight, but the higher-ups of hell wouldn't be where they are today without this ghoulish gopher. Number 6. Legendary 6 Samurai Kageki. Have I said that I love every archetype yet? I feel like I do that a lot. Anyway, I love 6 Samurai. Swarming the field with a bunch of sword-swinging samurai is a recipe for a powerful aggro strategy, but combine that with control elements in the form of both Shiens, and you have a toolbox that can handle just about any situation. And one of the best normal summons the deck has is Kageki, helping to mobilize monsters in your hand and making exceptional synchro and link material. The deck is full of great enablers, but none of them are quite as handy. Number 5. xx-saber Ragigura. Last time we did a top 10, xx-saber Dark Soul made the list for its unmatched ability to keep your hand stocked up with just the right cards. And if Dark Soul is the engine that gets all of your plans going, then Ragigura is the one that makes sure you never run out of gas. Also lacking a once per turn clause, anything that can summon and resummon the cool chameleon that's oddly a beast warrior and not a reptile, meant getting back more cards like Bogart Knight, Full Helm Knight, and, well, Dark Soul. I wonder if anyone's tried to tune up an Xsaber deck for Master Rule 5. I'd sure hate to cross their path. Number 4. Cyber Dragon Naster. You know, Burning Abyss has a reputation of never dying, but Cyber Dragon certainly gives them a run for their money. It feels like every format, this deck is a legitimate rogue threat, except that one time where it was much scarier. And a big reason for that is they get a constant stream of great support cards, one of which is Cyber Dragon Naster. A powerful Link-era support monster, it allows you to fast-track your vanilla Cyber Dragons to the grave for free material, while keeping your normal summons free for things like Core, opening up your entire spell and trap lineup. And, let's be real, with recent ban list changes, it's nice to have another reliable Snecky. Number 3. The Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. Speaking of Burning Abyss, proper mention has to be made to one of the best techs for the theme, and probably the only reason anyone ever ran PK Fire, the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. An easy to summon level 3 monster that quickly cascades into one of the game's most flexible pieces of disruption, Boots was the premier option for any deck looking to utilize a suite of rank 3 Xyz monsters. In fact, I'd argue that its mass array of usages is the reason we're no longer allowed to play Rusty Bardiche. This phantasmal fighter may be silent, but its impact on the game was heard loud and clear. Number 2. Deep Sea Diva. Tuners that basically make their own synchro monsters are always going to be open for abuse. The possibility of going into your key plays is drastically increased if you don't have to worry about multiple cards showing up in your hand at the same time, and this submerged songstress can do just that. Having been relegated to the limited list for some time now, Diva is set to make their debut as a full trio when the April 2020 ban list rolls around, likely in response to a whole Deep Sea archetype being released in Eternity Code. However, while the impact of said archetype is yet to be seen, the big concern is what this can mean for Atlantean mermales. Neptibus is already a frighteningly powerful card in a deck that houses hand attack and OTK lines of play, and every copy of Deep Sea Diva is potentially an extra copy of Neptibus. I could be overhyping the power of this sonorous siren, but if I'm not, then we're all in deep trouble. Number 1. A good extra deck monster will give you back the investment you put into it, either leveling out your card economy or plussing you. And one of these monsters is so good at it that it became the backbone of an entire synchro spam deck, and that card is Formula Synchron. It's actually incredibly simple. You go -1 to synchro summon it, and then you draw a card. Combined with the infamous TG Hyper Librarian, which was recently relimited, likely to avoid these interactions, lets you draw more cards than you put into the Turbo Tuner. And by being able to synchro summon during your opponent's turn, you can pull off some crazy shenanigans, like a quick effect Black Rose Dragon. In fact, it's so good at just being a value card that it's one of the premier choices when it comes to using Crystron Halqifibrax's second effect. Because for some reason, it's treated as a synchro summon. 'Cause that's fair. Along with being one of the most powerful tuners in Yusei Fudo's arsenal, it's hard to imagine any other monster taking the spot of number 1 monster with 200 attack. And that's the list. A big thank you to everyone once again for helping me get this far. It means so much to me, and I can't wait for us to reach even bigger and better heights. Do you have any monsters you feel should have made the cut? And is there anything you're looking forward to seeing on the channel in the future? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed, please make sure to click the like button. If you're new here, then hi, thank you for stopping by. The dad joke levels of humor here are pretty standard, so if that's what you're into, you can keep in touch with the subscribe button. Oh, and if you're watching this around the time this video debuts, I wanted to let you all know that I won't be uploading anything the week of April 5th, as the last few weeks of production have tuckered me out a bit, so I'm just going to be taking a little breather. Thank you all so very much for your understanding, and if anything changes, including if I decide to do any streaming, please follow me at my Twitter to keep up to date with any schedule changes. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.